just eat. Just sit down at the table and eat. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia and today we're going to be talking about Sims 4. So if you watched my last couple of videos, you'll know that I've had exams. Because of my exams, I basically banned myself from Sims. I knew that if I was playing Sims, I would not be revising and I would definitely fail those exams. Naturally, when I finished my exams, I was straight back on Sims, you know, having a great time, catching up on all the storylines that I had not been able to play for about a month and a half, and life was okay. I know I made that video, Sims 3 is better than Sims 4, and I still stand by that because I think gameplay wise it's so much better. I know the graphics in Sims 4 is a lot better, a lot more aesthetically pleasing, and it's a lot easier to build. However, the gameplay aspect of Sims 3 I just felt was so much more developed, but I'll get into that in this video. But as I also said in that video, I can't play Sims 3 on my laptop for whatever reason. It just doesn't work, so I play Sims 4 and it's not bad. I still play it, I still enjoy it, but I think maybe it's because I had gone a while without playing it and then I started playing it again. I just realised so many things that I feel like the Sims 4 is just missing. So I thought I'd make a video about it, you know, just have a little chat with you guys about this. A little disclaimer, I know people are going to see this video and most likely say, oh yeah, the majority of the stuff can be fixed by mods. If they can be, you know, feel free to drop links to good mods and like CZ in the comments. And B, as much as it's fantastic and I think the people who make mods and custom content are actually amazing, you shouldn't have to completely mod out a game to be able to play it and enjoy it. It's frustrating that some of these things are still a problem, seeing as this game has been out for 6 years and it's not as though people haven't been talking about some of these problems. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing on my list is having the ability to invite whole households over. And that's something I'm missing. You can't do that currently in this game, which I find really bizarre. I find it so annoying that if you want one set of Sims to know another set of Sims who live in a different household, you have to literally like go to their house and then try and initiate conversation with every single person in that house and then try and invite them over one by one. Very clunky in my opinion. I know that in Sims 3 when you invited households over, sometimes not everybody could come and it always used to tell you in the little red box like, oh, this and that person can't come to visit or whatever. I prefer that to having to individually invite people over, and it makes it even more annoying when your Sim knows a couple of people in that household but not everyone, because then you can only invite over the Sims that you know. I find it frustrating and I think that it's something that obviously I'm not a game developer, so I'm not going to be like, oh, this is a really easy fix, but I know it's not a massive thing in terms of gameplay, but I think for me it would make a massive difference if the Sims team actually could just, you know, sort that out. And it goes hand in hand with the fact that when you're planning events as well, you can't invite a whole household after knowing like just one person. In Sims 3 you used to be able to invite over people that people in the household knew. If person A and person B live together, person A can plan a party and invite people that person B knows as opposed to person A knowing them. You can't do that in this game and I just find that really weird. Was it an oversight? So maybe people didn't use it, and again maybe people just didn't care, but I find it frustrating because then I have to try and choose the person that knows the most people to organize a party, and it's just a bit There's two little tweaks there, but I feel as though it'd make the gameplay a lot more fluid. Your Sims can get to know other Sims a lot more easily if you had that option. The next one, I really don't like this. So you have some Sims who are going to the park to have a good time, you know, spend some quality time together, and then some randomer decides to join their conversation and you can't kick them out of the conversation. You have to close the whole conversation and then restart the conversation that these two people were initially having. And I just find it so annoying. There are literally times when two Sims are really hitting it off, having a great time, chatting to each other, and then all of a sudden like half the people in this lot are in the same conversation. And I find it really weird because like it will turn it from like, oh, cheerful conversation, whatever conversation, to very awkward conversation. I'm like, well, yeah, of course. You're having a conversation with two people and then you're having a conversation with like 10. Of course it's gonna get awkward. It's a nice thing that people can randomly join in on conversations and stuff and you can get to know new people, but I do think it'd be nice if you could just have a bit more control over inviting somebody to a conversation as opposed to you two are talking, well, let's just get the whole lot or the whole neighborhood into this conversation, because like, why? The next point on my list is something that's really frustrating and disappointing to me, and I feel as though at this point it feels like the Sims are just willfully ignoring the situation. So the next point on my list is skin tones. And I mentioned this in my other Sims video about why the Sims 3 is better than Sims 4. Why are the darker skin tones in the Sims 4 so trash? Why are they so bad? I don't understand how people can literally make custom content skins that are better than the skins that came with the game. It doesn't make sense to me. I know that other creators have brought this up. I remember watching an Amanda BB video where she spoke about skin tones. A couple of weeks ago, Pumbella actually made a video about it as well, which I thought was good. I think it's nice that people actually bring attention to it, because if this is a life simulator game, why is it that the skin tones and things would be unrealistic? You can make your Sims green, blue, whatever. But in terms of wanting to make a Sim that looks like me or looks like, you know, my family members, I shouldn't have to compromise with having these crappy skins. Like I said, CC, people have literally made custom content skins that look 10 times better than what the Sims team have currently given us, and I find that ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That's something that immediately needs to be addressed. My next point is about the traits, and again, this is something that I've seen being brought up by other people, but it wasn't until I took my break away from the Sims and I got back to it that I realized how bad it was. The traits have very little effect on the gameplay. Even the fact that you only have 3 traits as opposed to the 5 that you had in Sims 3 makes a massive difference, but then these traits don't really add very much. A couple of moodlets here and there, and that's it. I'd really like to see traits that actually have more of an effect on Sim behavior and on natural Sim behavior as well, because I don't know, I don't want to have to keep on controlling my Sim to make them make decisions that their traits should be pushing them to make anyway. That leads into a whole other thing about story progression that I mentioned in my other video, that I thought the story progression was quite good in The Sims. Looking back on it, it's okay. I think having the mods that I have on makes story progression a bit better, but again, like I said at the start, you shouldn't have to depend on mods to have a cohesive and interesting game. And to wrap up this video, the last thing I'll mention, although I feel as though I'll probably make another one of these videos in the future anyway, I just want my Sims to sit down throughout a meal. I don't want them to get up, I don't want them to get sidetracked with anything else. I just want them all to sit down throughout a whole meal. All I'm asking for. I like the multitasking feature on Sims 4 because it means that your Sims don't get bogged down with one task, but just eat. Just sit down at the table and eat. Just sit down at the, I don't know, like the bar and eat. Finish your drink. Why are these difficult things? Why wasn't this like thought through? It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. Especially when you have a nice grand meal for Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's very frustrating when your Sims get up halfway through to do some irrelevant thing that they don't need to really be doing at that time. Stop. And that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed and have agreed with some of these things I think I'm missing. Feel free to leave down in the comments if you think there's anything I've missed off my list that EA should put into The Sims 4. But also, if, like I said at the start, if you know any good mods to try and fix some of these things, you know, leave down the links in the comments. I'm trying to make my Sims game as cohesive and fluid as possible, but I don't think that these are things that EA should necessarily overlook, because it's the small things that make the gameplay even more fun for all of us. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe for some more content. I make content about pretty much like anything I want to on this channel, mainly around being a medical student, being in uni, topics I want to talk about, and The Sims. It seems to be a recurring theme on my channel now. So yeah, subscribe, like, feel free to follow me on my Insta as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!